Hello, everybody. This is Audrey Shoemaker. I'm one of the librarians here at Walter State, and my job is to help you all find resources for any research assignment that you have. Today, I am here to help you find an academic journal article for your scholarly peer-reviewed article that you're writing. Your goal is to find a single scholarly article on a psychology topic and then write a review of that article and the study that was completed within it. It can be difficult sometimes to find academic journal articles. We do a lot of our research online, and most of the time that just requires decent Googling skills. But when you're given an assignment where you need to find an academic research paper for this or any other class, it can be difficult to know where to go. So I'm here to help you do that. If you follow along with me, you'll be able to figure out where to find these resources anytime you're asked for a scholarly source for one of your assignments. Before we get too much further, if you need to contact me, if you're struggling with something along these lines, you can always call the library at 423-585-6903. Usually I show up in your eLearn class list, which is the case in this class. You can just go in there to class list and I show up as the research coach, or you can always email me at audrey.shoemaker@ws.edu. I usually return emails within 24 hours. Please give me as much detail as possible so that I can help you as quickly as possible. I know you all are frequently on a timeline with these things. So, to start our research, instead of going to Google like we usually would, we are going to the library website, which is library.ws.edu. And the first thing I want you to do when you get there is go to our A to Z database list on the left-hand side. Click that link. This is a list of the 101 databases that Walter State provides so that students can do their research. A database is different from Google or any other search engine. When you type a question or any other term into Google, it trolls the whole internet for terms similar to what you did, and then it gives you a list of results that are ranked by popularity. So the things other people have clicked on most frequently with search terms that are similar to yours. In contrast, a database is a finite number of resources. They're put into one single place, and you have to access that place to access the articles that are within it. They're also highly organized. That means that they've been tagged, almost like a hashtag, with things like subject terms, so what they're about. Librarians call this aboutness because we're a bunch of nerds. But then also the article title and the author's name and the journal that it's been placed in. So the stuff that's been put into these databases is really organized. It means that you have to know how to search them, which is what I'm going to show you, but it also means that when you do a search, you're not getting the most popular things, you're getting the most relevant things, the things that are closest to what you searched. So the first thing that's important is that we open up the correct collection, right? If databases are finite, then we need to make sure that we're in one that will have things that are useful for our assignment. The best way to do that for any class is to go to the All Subjects button and choose the discipline that you're studying. That will pull up the databases most likely to have resources for your topic. I'm going to scroll down and we have a psychology section. There are 12 databases, 12 collections in there. Now we can use lots of these, but because we're looking specifically for academic journal articles, we're going to stick with this first option, Academic Search Premier. And this is the front page of our database. You can see it doesn't look like Google. There's no single box. There's lots of different things that we can do. Searching in a database requires us to kind of think about the way we want to approach our topic. So, because I'm in a psych database, and I can always come up here to choose databases to double check that things that are labeled psychology are going to come up for me. So actually what I'm going to do is I go to choose databases, and I'm going to choose anything that looks like it might also include psychology data or articles as well. So I'm going to do psychology and the social sciences. And that will open it up to some things that might better answer my questions. So I'm going to click on OK. Now I'm searching a few databases, a few collections of articles. Now, I've clearly been doing some other research. I'm going to search a term that I might be interested in finding an article about. Let's do sleep disorders. The first thing is that you want to split your search into different concepts. So I've just got that one concept right now. I put quotation marks around it. That tells the database that the two words have to show up together. Instead, I might get lots of articles about sleep and lots of articles about disorders. And because we're studying psychology, that might include many, many articles. So I tie the words together with a pair of quotation marks. It tells the database those words have to show up together. Now, if I wanted to do a different type of search, let's say I have a single word, anorexia, but I know that frequently other words come with it or that it's sometimes got related conditions that I might also want to research, I can use what's called the Boolean operator, choose or, and tell the database that I also want to search for the term bulimia, because that pulls up two specific eating disorders. Now, if I decided I didn't want to do those two terms specifically, but I just wanted to do eating disorders, then I would go back up here and in quotation marks, because I need to tie the words together, type in eating disorders. Finally, this isn't necessarily something that only works with two words or something like that. When I was a kid, I had a very strange sleep issue called Alice in Wonderland syndrome, and I can tie that whole thing together with those quotation marks. Now the database will look for that whole phrase. So let's go back to my sleep disorders search. Oh, not steel magnolias. All right. So those are the words that the database is going to look for. They're going to look for them in the entire article. However, if I wanted to change it to where the article had to actually be about sleep disorders, not just mention it, I could turn that to a subject terms search. And now it has to be one of those tags that appears on one of the articles. Further down here, I want to make sure that I'm only getting full text articles. This is usually clicked by default, but you do want to check it. Otherwise, you might find citations for articles you can't access right away. And because of the nature of this assignment, you also want to click the scholarly or peer-reviewed journals button. That will make sure that you only get articles written for experts by other experts. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. Lastly, if there's a requirement that you can only use an article published within the last, say, 5 years or so, you may want to go down here to the publish date and say, I only want articles published from 2014 on. Putting that year right in this box will make sure that you get nothing from earlier than the date that you put in there. Let's go ahead and click search. All right, now I got 1,700 articles. What I may want to do is refine my search a little bit. I'm looking down here, I see sleep disorders, but this is an international article. I may want to go down here and change some things in my search. What I can do is go up here to the top now and add terms in here that might help me narrow down my search. So let's say I want to find out about sleep disorders and children. This is almost creating a Venn diagram. If you can think of two interlocking circles, one says sleep disorders and one says children, and I'm only going to get results that come in the middle. My articles have to mention both sleep disorders and children. I should get fewer results this time, right? And I did. Let's scroll down. Do sleep problems mediate the link between adverse childhood experiences and delinquency in pre-adolescent children in foster care? So does the amount of sleep that children get in traumatizing situations help them deal with the experiences that they have? You'll notice the subject tags down here. Those are the things that I was searching when I said this needed to be a subject term. If I got no results, one thing I might do is just change that to select a field, and then it would search the whole article or any article that had those things in here. There are lots of articles that would answer my question or that would work for my my assignment here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to choose this one. Your assignment requires that you find an academic journal article. So let's take a look at what that needs to include so that you can be sure that you chose an appropriate article. First, check the title of the source. If it says Journal of in it, it is likely to be an academic journal. That is not a phrase that we find in popular materials, which is materials created for the public. If it says Journal of, you're probably pretty safe. However, not all journals say that, so it's one of our clues. Additionally, a scholarly article will include an abstract. This is right here, and it's a summary of the article. This can be a really useful tool because it will tell you the main argument of the article, and it may give you the methodology, which is how the study was created. In this case, I've got the background, why they did it, the method, how they did it, and the results, what happened when they did their study. You'll find that academic journal articles do not have advertisements. They do not have a lot of pictures unless it's a graph or a table in this case. The pieces of this article that are going to be really useful to you are the method. When you're asked to describe how the study was conducted, you'll need to go to the method system or section to tell about that process. The procedure may be helpful. What's really useful, though, is the results. When you go down to the results section or the discussion section, which is frequently labeled that as well, it will tell you the results of the study and why it was successful or why it wasn't successful, and perhaps even suggest other methods for using or for further research. So the discussion section really helps you with that. Another thing to check, go down and make sure that there are references. Popular articles do not have references in them. Scholarly articles do. These are all the papers that were referenced within the larger paper that help you understand that this is part of a conversation between scholars on a highly specialized topic. Finally, once you've found your article, once you've decided that this is the article you want to review for your assignment, there are some tools in the database that can help you. You can barely see them, but over on the right-hand side, you'll see that there are some little buttons I can click. The first one is the Cite button. If I scroll down, once I click that Cite button, and it kind of looks like it's the fifth one down, and it looks like a little Post-it note. It's right outside my frame here. I'm sorry about that. Let's see if I can scoot that. There it goes. All right, once I've opened that up, this is an APA citation for my paper. You do not have to create it from scratch. You can use the citation provided by the database. Double check that all names are spelled correctly, that all formatting is appropriate, but this is a huge step up on creating a citation for your assignment. I'm going to click out of that. Additionally, you may want to email this article to yourself. If you click on this button, you can do that. You would put your own email into here, audrey.shoemaker@ws.edu. Make sure you send yourself the detailed citation in APA format, not MLA, and send it to yourself. It will show up in my email box, so I have access to it at all times. And lastly, you may want to download it. If you can come up here and click on that, then you can download a PDF of the article. Make sure you label it appropriately so that you do not forget where you've put it on your computer or on your flash drive. Make sure you give it a good name so you know what you're planning on using it for. All right, if you have any questions about how to find a scholarly article for your review assignment for psychology, please do not hesitate to contact me. You can do that through the class list in eLearn, you can call the library, or you can email me at audrey.shoemaker@ws.edu. I look forward to your questions. Thank you.